when Kuta and I were dating, he started mentioning to me about his conviction for us to relocate once we got married. And I remember feeling like, that is unexpected, because I had my own conviction at the time and it involved me not relocating. You see, I deeply believe that my assignments, my instructions, the things God had called me to do required me to be physically present in Nigeria, to live, to abide, to stay put in Nigeria. So when I decided to mention it, it was something that I thought, I don't know how this is going to play out as regards the relocation thing. I can't see it. He can see it, but I can't see it. I can't even see it. So anyways, fast forward to a few months down the line, and he just stopped talking about it. He stopped mentioning it. And because me too, it's not like I was interested. I didn't have the slightest desire, to relocate. I didn't bring it up too. We continued to date, right? And then a few months before we got engaged with a ring, I think like 2 or 3 months before we got engaged with the ring, I had a dream. The dream was very clear, and prior to that time I only had a dream like once in a while, and it had to be like SOS. You know when someone is trying to call you and they can't reach you on one line, so they try the other line. That's what dreaming is like for me. When God is trying to tell me something but it's very important and he has to get it across no matter what, that's when I dream. Then Shana, dreaming has become one of the things that one of the ways we got paid to me frequently. But anyways, point is I had a dream, and the dream they were welcoming us to Canada. People, the only person that I knew at the time that was living in Canada with her family, the only person that is my own person, was welcoming us to Canada. And I remember feeling like, I woke up feeling like, wow, where did that come from? So I prayed about it and I told God that okay, so if this relocation thing is that deep to you that you are putting it in my dream, you have to interrupt my sleep. That's how I used to describe dreaming. Like, don't interrupt my sleep, let me sleep at a stretch. You can tell me through other things. It was just a joke anyways. So anyways, I was like, oh God, if this thing is that important to you that you have to tell me through a dream, then I need confirmation. I had not even told Kuton yet. I think I need confirmation. It has to be very straightforward, very clear, very like undeniable. So I left it there. I'm not sure if that was when I took Kuton or not, or after I got my confirmation. Anyways, so during that week I got 2 confirmations that were very, very, very dramatic, but I'm not going to bore you with the details. So I shall told Kuton, and I think a few of my loved ones at the time. I shall told them, and of course Kuton was happy. I think the loved ones I told self were happy because everybody in their mind was like, should relocate, but I shall told them, this is all the same, this yada yada yada. So I shall prayed about it some more, and we left it. We got engaged, got married, life continued. Then a few months into our wedding, Kuton, I think maybe 4 months, I'm not sure now, Kuton started mentioning a few months after our wedding, sorry, after we got married, what am I saying? What's wrong with my English? A few months after I got married, Kuton started bringing it up again that, oh yeah, so about that relocation, he said, I have confirmation about, can we move forward? And I was pregnant, so you can imagine how that was not my mood. Well, that wasn't my mood. I already had the confirmation, but I still didn't have the desire. My desire did not match the confirmation. You get? So, but because Kuton started talking about it, I went back to God that, God, you've given me confirmation now, give me desire. And I've done that for a lot of things in my life where I feel like, okay, God has said this thing, but I don't feel like the passion is matching. So please help me to want this thing you want from me. You get? So anyways, that's what I did. What I realized was that after a couple of days, or as the days went by, my desire to begin the process started to intensify. So the next time Kuton would bring it up, I was like, no problem. I should say boss, and then we started the process. We got our transcripts. Getting his own transcript didn't take long at all. It was very quick. Mine took a while. My own took a while, and then by a while I mean about a month. So it wasn't that bad, but it was still a while compared to Kuton's. And then We did West, you know. I'm not going to go into a lot of the details for all those things because it's everywhere. It's mainstream everywhere, so I'm sure you probably won't know it more than myself. So there's West, we did West, I mean, and then we then started to talk about, oh, when do we want to do IELTS. Now that's where it got tricky because I was having a lot of back pain from pregnancy, you know, at the time. So the idea of sitting down for a couple of hours doing an exam did not sound like something I felt like doing. It didn't sound appealing to me. So but it gingered me, you know, I gingered myself too, and then I agreed on the day. So we did it back to back. I did my own on I think June 19, I can't remember, and then Kuton did it like 25th. Is that 6 days apart? Is that 7 days? My point is that it was the Saturdays following each other. Anyways, so that's how we did IELTS, and then we both did the results came like a week or 2 weeks after. I started preparing a few days before him because mine was obviously a week before his, but we essentially prepared together, right? And we both did very well. We got 8 and 7.5 overall, and for some reason that's where we stopped. Then July, August, September, we didn't do anything else about the process. Why? Because well, I was beginning to nest. I was in my nesting season, and then Koton was like, oh, maybe we should wait till our daughter Kedesovase comes before we move forward, so all of us can enter the pool. And I was fine with it because I was like, I just want to give birth to this child first before any other thing, so it's fine. Anyways, so that's what we did. We waited till Kede came. She came October 2, so we waited till October. Now, when she came, and you know, that season and its own peculiarities, that season and its peculiarities came postpartum, and the impact, let's call it impact, for lack of a more positive word, and its impact on my mental, spiritual, and physical health. When all of those came, naturally the attention wasn't on, oh, should we relocate now? Abi, should we enter the pool now? Which was supposed to be the next step because we had IELTS quiz and, you know, all those things figured out. The things we needed to enter the pool, we had it on lockdown. So during postpartum, that was in the mood, right? But for some reason, on I think October 11, I started having this very uneasy prompting for us to enter the pool, which was very interesting because I find it to be genius of God to give me that prompting, not Koton, because if he came from Koton, I'd be very mad at him. And I'd be like,
I just gave birth, we just had a child, you're thinking about entering the pool.
And that's the truth, I'm being very honest, and I probably felt like, how is that your priority now? With everything that's happening, because it was a bit dramatic, to be honest. With everything that's happening, how is that your priority? So I feel like God was like, this human being, you have many weaknesses. I won't give you another excuse to fight with this man or to push this thing. It's you I will make uneasy, and no, and behold, I was so uneasy about it. Fam, in fact, it was Koton that was not like that. No, let's focus on, you know, this season, and you'll be fine. Kede should be fine. Everybody should be fine. You know, that was very sweet. There were even times that I think it only lasted for about 2 days because we eventually entered the pool. Before we get to that, there were periods that is being caring, and another would be like, oh, maybe it's right, maybe we should just wait and everything. But I would now all of a sudden have these serious nudgings and promptings again for us to enter the pool. And the interesting thing was that I now started to sense that it was very time bound, like our own entry in the pool was very time bound. And I was like, why could this thing be time bound? You know, it's just about entry in the pool now. It's not, what's the big deal? You know, it's not that, like, what could be time bound about it? I shall talk on that, babe, I feel like this. So. And it was like, okay, no problem. And then we submitted everything we needed to do and we entered the pool. And then lo and behold, I think less than 2 weeks after, we entered the pool October 13. That day we can't forget. A few days, less than 2 weeks after, we got an email from Ontario asking us, giving us, showing us their sending us expression of interest that they'd like us to come to their province, and you know, and if we accept, they'll give us provincial nomination, which would eventually fast track the process. And I was like, wow, interestingly, before that time, we didn't really know much about provincial nomination. Well, I didn't know. I don't know if Koto read about it, but I didn't really know much about it because I mentioned that I wasn't, my desire grew, So it's not like I was that keen that I was now always reading about it. I actually genuinely wasn't. So I didn't really know much about it. I didn't even know there was something called expression of interest. I remember that it was after I was like, oh, this is possible. They can ask you to come. They can offer you this without you applying. You get. So I went to read about it. We read about it, and we were very excited with a lot of things that were happening, very dramatic things that were happening at the time. That was like God saying, "I got you, and we received the message loud and clear. So we were very excited, and then we now had to face the ordeal of passports. So my passport had expired, and Kede obviously didn't have a passport yet, and I'd been procrastinating renewing my own. So we had to quickly figure that one out because we needed to. It was part of the documents that was required of us to submit to get if you accept the interest they've expressed. Yeah. So, anyways, that one took a bit of a while, like I said, and if you are in Nigeria, you have an idea of what I'm talking about. So we did it, and on either December 1 or 5, I'm not sure, it's early in December, and we submitted everything that was required of us. Now we had to wait. They said it would take about 3 months, 90 days, and we were excited because we had thought it will take a lot longer to get provincial nomination, but the same maximum of 90 days. What was 90 days compared to, that's something. At this point, obviously, I was already extremely that, my interest, my desire for the process was very flaky from the beginning. From the moment they gave us expression of interest, my body, soul, and spirit were invested in the process. I was so psyched. So I was very excited, to be honest. So we started to watch and pray, and I think one of the last few days in December of 2021, God started to talk to us about having affirmations that we would declare every day as regards our relocation, based off the scriptures and the prophecies, the promises He had given us as regards this relocation. So we came up with them and we said them every morning or night, sometimes more than once a day. We needed the extra sort of faith or extra boost. You get what I'm saying? Anyway, in February, I think early February now, I'm not sure, on day 70 or so. Are you calculating this thing? I'm not sure. But on day 70, I think it's the 70, yeah. On the 70 or 72, I have a feeling it was like one of those days. I used to remember now with the youth. Anyways, I think the 72, we got the email saying we had gotten provincial nomination. Yay! We were so happy. I had this weird dance that I do that when I'm very excited that I do, it lacks a lot of rhythm, but it shows a lot of joy. I was so psyched. Koto was, we were flabbergasted, whatever that means. We were very happy. And so now that meant we had 600 points to our initial point. It meant we had 1,000 and I can't remember. I don't want to form something I can't remember. But we had plus 600. Get to high now, and that automatically meant the next time they are picking people from the poll, guess who they will pick? Us. Anyway, so because we knew that was the chances of that happening. Of them not picking us are extremely slim. With the points, with God on the throne, what could possibly go wrong? I'm kidding, but yeah, I'm not kidding. That's actually the truth. So we picked a date for medicals, right? Which was the next step, right? And the thing with medicals is that it actually has a long waiting period because I don't know why, but there's a particular hospital, and then at least I know of the one in Lagos, and then it's almost always booked. So we did the next available date from that time in February was March 31, the last day in March. We think 30 or 31, one of those days. We have picked the last day in March, and so now what we had to do was wait for the next time they do the express entry draw. And when they did, guess who they picked again? Us! So they picked us. We were obviously very happy, very excited. So now we had to wait. So they picked us the next time they did the draw, which was like almost 2 weeks after we got the email saying we had gotten provincial nomination and all those details. So we now had to wait for the medicals. So we had about almost a month to wait for medicals now. continue with life, I guess. Yeah. Right, Smart 31 came. Medicals for some reason was fun. I can't remember why, but we enjoyed that day. It was a long day, it was a long process, but we enjoyed it. I don't remember why. It was shy for one day anyways. And we did medicals. A few days after, they said, oh, they had received it. That's from the Canadian side now. They said they had received it and stuff like that. By the way, if you're not subscribed, please pause, quickly click subscribe, click the bell so that you know when next I drop a video, and give this video a thumbs up and share, drop a comment as well. So what was next was for us to just apply, because what we got was invitation to apply, right? So we applied. I'm not sure if we chose the date intentionally but we chose to apply on my birthday. So because of how quickly everything had been happening before then, right, because of how quickly our process had been moving up, we just assumed, I don't know if it was us taking things for granted, I don't know, but we just assumed
me will come and we'll hear from them again because that's after.
I'm kidding, but I'm just saying we thought everything would be fast, right? Anyways, May came and zilch, nada, nothing. We didn't hear anything from them. It didn't seem like a big deal because I mean, the process was already fast and we were not in a hurry to leave. So I mean, but when June came and we still didn't hear anything, and that was when we were a bit concerned, to be honest, because we didn't think from ITA to the next thing was for us to be called to do biometrics, which meant we are almost there. Do you get? So we didn't think that it would take as long as 2 months, 2.5 months. That was already going. So we we declared a fast, and I decided to pray and just see the face of God, and we left it there. And I think after a while we now started having this leading to give sacrificially to a conference that my church was about to have not the conference, but to give during the conference. It was a accelerated conference, and it was a very sacrificial sum at the time. But individually and collectively we had the leadings, so we had to obey, and we got to a point that we thought, even if it doesn't happen the way we want or as quickly as we want, let's just obey this instruction that God is giving us, right? We asked for grace and God supplied it, and we did it. And I think that was July 1st or something like that. Anyways, that was like a Friday. We were even thinking that, oh, maybe like 2 or 3 months or 1 or 2 months after we would move up or something. Do you get, like, God just show us mercy and we move up? Can you believe that 2 days, not weeks, not months, 2 days after, we received an email saying that, what, come and do biometrics, you've moved up. We were shocked. I still don't know why God chose to show us that much mercy, but I am extremely, extremely grateful for it. It was surreal. We could not believe it. We could not believe how quickly everything was happening. What? 2 days after? That fast? Did you get? Anyways, we were psyched. We went for biometrics, and the next thing after biometrics was to just wait for when they ask you to bring your passport, back the claimant, or you've gotten your PR. And that's the general assumption, right? 2 weeks after we did biometrics, we got another email saying that we should send our passport for the visa. Shut up. What? It was, we were anointing. I'm telling you, we were surprised, we were shocked, we were flabbergasted, all the emotions. We had so much joy. We were so grateful. I am so grateful to God. I didn't know it could happen before the end of July. What was interesting was that we had to travel that period, but again with the master planningness of God, you know, we got that email asking us to send our passport, I think 2 days before we traveled. But if we got the email a couple of days later, say when we had already traveled, it should have just been like 2 days after that, we would have had to wait till we come back to do all that, which would have still not been late. But for one reason or the other, God decided that He would show us mercy and ask us to do all these things before we left. And then we did that. We sent our passports. We chose to send it to Kenya because we had heard that certain countries that shall not be named on this channel, certain countries take a lot longer than others. So we chose Kenya, and it took us less than a week, I think 4 or 5 days, to get our passports back with our visa, with our COPR, with everything we required. Fam. I still don't know why God chose to show us that much mercy, but I'm extremely grateful for it, to be honest. I am genuinely, truly, honestly grateful. And I feel a strong leading to pray for anybody here whose process has been stalled. It might not even be just relocation, it might be as regards any area of your life. I just feel the need to pray for you. So Heavenly Father, in your mighty name, I pray for anybody listening to me whose relocation process, academic, career, family, any financial, any area of their life has been stalled due to one thing or the other. Father, I pray that you will help them, you will fast track their process, they will experience your supernatural hand in this season, Lord Jesus. And everywhere they've experienced delays, they will begin to experience speed in your mighty name. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. And I also feel the need to encourage anybody listening to me who might be holding on to a promise from God. Please pay attention to any promptings or leadings or instructions that God is giving you, because sometimes our breakthroughs are in the obedience to instructions that God gives us. So what's the last instruction God gave you? And if you don't know, you can go back to him and ask him, oh God, is there something you asked me to do that I haven't done, or something like that? You know, I can't overemphasize the role that the mercy of God plays in all of this, because the honest truth is that it's not of him that willeth or him that runneth, but of God that showeth mercy. But obedience is better than sacrifice. So we want the mercy of God, but we also have to obey the last instruction he gave us. You get? So I just want to encourage anybody, you get that which the Lord has promised you, but please do whatever it is that is leading you to do. I'm grateful for the sensitivity, the mercy, the grace he gave us to be able to obey the instructions that came when it was time to enter the pool. Because we eventually heard that it took a couple of months after our time for them for authority to have an expression of interest, you know. And to be honest, even that would still have been very late for us, because like I said, we're not in a hurry, but for one reason or the other, God decided to fast track everything, and we're really grateful for that. So yeah, if God has given you a word to relocate or to stay in Nigeria, just hold on to it, right? And like I said, just do the last thing, what the everyday things is asking you to do, and by the mercy of God, he will bring his promise and prophecies to each and every one of us to pass in due time, in Jesus' name. Amen. So thank you for watching this. I think this is my longest video on this channel. I'm pretty sure it is. Please, before you go, subscribe, right? Hit the notification bell so you know when I drop another video. Give this video a thumbs up, please. It really helps me. Right, drop a comment. Are you in Canada? Are you planning to relocate, or are you convinced to stay in Nigeria? Let me know. Right, let me know in the comments, and don't forget to share. Carry on, go on. Share the video with anybody you believe will benefit from it. I have a strong conviction, a strong persuasion in my heart that there are bits and pieces of this story that will help different people in different areas and in different seasons of their life. So please share with as many people as you can. Don't forget to watch other videos that are on this channel. Don't forget to watch other videos. Don't forget to watch other videos.